Hello and welcome back, or welcome.
Or welcome back, either
Starting out
or.
great, or welcome back. Yeah, welcome. Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Good noon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Why don't you guys have good noon anyway, though? And good night. Welcome to another Can of Worms episode for the Save Before the Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Eren, and I'm joined today by our lovely, luminescent.
Jeff Bezos. It's me. I don't
What does
know.
Jeff Bezos actually sound like?
I don't
I don't
know.
think I've never I don't think I've ever actually heard of him.
I was,
Like heard him speak.
yeah. I
Yeah.
only thought of Jeff Bezos because of our striking similarity. Um,
Right.
but I don't actually know what he sounds like, so I'll
Like
have to do my
like
research
I
on
know
that.
what Elon Musk sounds like because he appeared in a bunch of TV shows and whatnot, and he has that impressionable, not like what does it call when it makes an impression on you?
Uh, excuse me.
You're not excused.
Um, Dang, I'm trapped
Like
here forever.
yeah, there you go. Like reverse impressionable, memorable. There we
Yeah,
go. Yeah, he's got like he's got
iconic.
that like yeah he's got that like memorable South African accent with the posh sprinkled in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But like Jeff Bezos, no, I've never actually heard of him. Like
Never heard him speak.
I look at his photos, and I think of this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like just
yes,
yeah,
yes. Millionaire or no,
like
billionaire speak.
billionaire. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
And Mark Zuckerberg just sounds like a robot, like that.
they probably all are robots, in all
Yeah,
honesty.
they probably are, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
that would actually give me what would give me more comfort than anything else if all billionaires were actually secretly robots controlled by Bill Gates. But then again, that would mean that Bill Gates is behind everything, and that would just ruin our perception of him. And that would just be bad in its own way.
True, true that, true
So
that.
it's like, yeah. But yeah, welcome back.
Come back.
Are you
Wow,
good?
I should have like put something in my stomach. I woke up immediately and did not choose to eat breakfast
Oh, damn,
because
you just woke up?
well, I woke up maybe 11:50ish. I've been having really bad sleep recently.
Damn.
it's kind of bad. I think it's just because I've been sleeping very sporadically and not very
Mm-hmm.
consistently, which is super duper bad. Would not recommend. Um, yeah, I
I
think
woke up at
it's
like 8 because I had a math class.
oh right.
Yeah.
It did it last until 12?
It
Did I
started out like 9:30, and it
gotcha.
it lasts 2 hours with a
Holy
single
cow.
like 10-minute break in between.
2 hour
Um,
math class.
yeah, imagine how I do it. Like we've already established my character. Like imagine how I get through it.
That's
I
crazy.
don't is the answer.
Is it a
But
lecture or
it's a lecture. Yeah. Honestly, if
my
it was
God?
asynchronous, it would have been way more easier for me, but it's
Yeah,
not. So it's not. So oh well.
dang.
Yeah. Oh well though. Like aside from that, I did learn. Are you good?
Yes,
Like
I just
for once, I'm not the one dying
I
in
know.
the
Yeah,
recording. Yeah.
I think I just didn't, I guess, ingest any warm fluid this morning.
Mm.
So yeah, usually I have a cup of coffee or something, but not today. So I'm a little raspy
Don't talk
today.
to me until I've had my coffee.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Man. I've recently discovered, there we go. Hydrate, y'all. I've recently
Yes.
discovered Solarpunk.
Solarpunk.
Solarpunk, yeah, aside from, cyberpunk or like steampunk. I've discovered Solarpunk, and it's like those building like structures that are made of like white materials with like plants and whatnot sticking out from all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
It like looks really high tech and like good ending futuresque.
Yes.
Yeah, like that kind of thing, but all around.
Interesting.
And I
Okay,
was
so it's
thinking, yeah, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, what would be an amazing concept? Like if there was a game that took place in a solar punk setting, but you played as like a robot roaming the outsides, like repairing infrastructure, that kind of stuff, and it's really like mainstream. Like a take care of stuff game with a
Mhm.
cool design. Essentially, it starts out like that, and you can find different types of notes and all that kind of stuff, and you have like the space where you get to choose missions and like maintain yourself and that kind of stuff, and like go over any kind of notes or clues or
Yeah,
anything you
yeah,
find, right? And these clues sort of have a uh like clues and whatnot about where you are and what year is it
yeah,
and that kind of stuff, and like it's going to be like really into the future, and it's going to be like really up north where it's supposed to be like snowy and whatnot,
yeah.
but it's not, and it's like sunny all the time,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So it has like these clues that something might not be right, but it still continues, and like it goes on and whatnot. And eventually by the like it has a short gameplay with the robot, right?
Yeah.
And by the end of the robot gameplay, you find your final clue in your final mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before before a new unit takes your place, right? You find a single key, right?
Okay.
And just by the time you you know like you are about to be replaced, you freak out and you rebel against it, and that's when the game shuts off. All right.
Like in reality, that's when the
Yeah, that's when the game crashes and it shuts off by itself. And when you log on again, right,
mm-hmm.
instead of like, here's the thing, the main menu, what I'm thinking will be like in the first part of the game with the robots, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be just really efficient lighting, just bing coming on
Yeah.
with like all the robots, and with the like the scenery in the background and
Yeah.
everything like
Yeah.
that. But from then on, it's going to be crappy lighting, just like coming on with like like flickering lighting from an old light bulb, and it's going to show the insides of all the futuristic buildings with all the people huddled up all over the place
Oh, the
in
people are still
terrible
there.
conditions. Oh
Gotcha.
yeah, the people are still there,
Oh, okay. This
right?
entire time I thought they were long gone, and it was just
Oh no, the people are still there. The buildings are occupied.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
like and like from like a sort of like keyhole is going to be unlocked in like the bottom right part of the screen, and you're going to be able to like unlock it with the key that you had as the robot.
The other robot, because now you're the
Like
new
the
robot?
robot. And from then on, you're going to be playing as a human,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
right? Collecting parts of robots, building them together, eventually escaping captivity of the robots. And here's the thing, the robots aren't going to be the evil guys, all right? They're going to, like, this is going to be like Wall-E type stuff, all right? Like, Otto, the bad guy with the red light and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't exactly the bad guy. He was just following it was just following the
Orders.
directive that was given to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's going to be, because the outside world is so like air itself is so polluted, like it's literally impossible for like a human to walk out of a building and breathe and live for more than 2 minutes, right? Like the directive given to the robots will be to like create the perfect conditions for humans, and the conditions that were given to the robots were misinterpreted by the robots, and it ended up being like, and that just ended up ruining the entire planet
Mm,
because they wanted to make every part of the planet, regardless of climate, regardless of location, like the the image essentially given to them, right?
okay.
So essentially, no more planets, no more forests, no more anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's just like occupied or unoccupied buildings towering over empty streets with robots that are just meant to maintain that image.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just an idea that I had.
Wow, yeah, that was just a very quick idea. Only took me 2 minutes to come up. No, but it's very
It
fleshed
actually
out.
kind of did.
It's very, yeah. I mean, I had those bouts, a
Yeah, there you go.
long time ago. Yeah,
Ugh,
but
the struggles of creativity. Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's definitely. I think yeah, it definitely gave me Wall-E vibes. I
Yeah.
think like Wall-E as a video game. Um, but I think it has the potential to have a really
Mm-hmm.
compelling story. I think just the way you have set up the gameplay. I think playing as a robot first and then a human has
Right.
some interesting, things you can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like perhaps, if something you do in the first half of the game, affects the second half of the game, and then multiple endings and all that.
Yeah.
So there's some
If only I
stuff you can
actually
do.
had the capacity to learn how to develop a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's lots of indie developers out there. So
Huh?
I mean,
Man, do
but
I
it
look
is
like I have
interesting.
money to hire people to actually?
Yeah, well, granted, most of them are like, out of college in their 30s or late 20s or something like that. So you still got time. Okay, you still got
Sure.
time.
Sure.
And I mean, I do have some, computer science friends. So, if they're
Nice.
interested, I mean, but I mean, it's a great concept.
Yeah.
I really like it. And it's funny how you got that out of Solarpunk, right? Was the
Yeah.
aesthetic you were describing? Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's
just
funny.
like
Yeah,
because I like saw images and whatnot related to Solarpunk, and I thought it was really cool and wanted to live there.
yeah,
But then I thought, because of the current political climate, literally any kind of progress to create that kind of environment would take a lot of compromise. And if we're like, what are we compromising right about now?
yeah.
So creating the perfect world might have might create another gilded age where everything seems fine and everything seems very aesthetically pleasing, and like all that kind of stuff
Hmm.
might have some kind of like dirty underlying like unsettling sort of thing, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, on like a concept that I wanted, like a sort of hint that I wanted to be in the game also, was that at some point before the robots took over to create the perfect world, corporations were providing humans with the perfect living conditions and everything like that, and everything seemed fine. However, people who deviated were essentially like used as livestock more than anything else. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like I played a game called Oligarchy a while ago, and it was like an online game, so people can still play it while Flash is still on. So,
oh yeah, right.
and one end game things that you can do is like essentially destroy every single like oil pumps and everything you have, and create human processing machines to extract oil from them, and like maybe having something like that in the game before the
Yeah,
robots took over might have been like a decent addition. Well, not a decent addition in the form of oh, that's a decent idea, we should do it in real life,
yeah. Human
but more
oil.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
but more like to show how messed up it was, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
because like an established oil, like how far is an established industry or an established corporation that is meant to be given a single service is willing to go to provide that service. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah. I mean, you could turn it into a novel, if all else fails, I mean, I think, even just putting it down on paper is still, I think worth doing
ooh,
if you
wait a
don't
minute.
have access to, a developing team. So
A novel is a good idea. Have you read the Dracula, by the way? Like the Dracula book itself?
the original Dracula,
The original Dracula, yeah.
it's on my to read list, but I
Hmm.
haven't read it yet.
I'm not gonna give much spoilers, like how much spoilers can you give? It's Dracula, but like actually though, like the story itself is really unique in its own way, and like I'm gonna refrain from giving any spoilers, but the way the book is set up is essentially like a slow burn quality, like newspaper clippings or reports or diary entries and all that kind of stuff brought together to create this like sort of process of reading. You know what I'm saying? Like the story unveils with like within the story itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like it's set up in a sort of really decent way, and I'm thinking like this might actually be that kind of it might actually be that kind of novel. You know what I'm saying? Like fake newspaper clippings and all that kind of stuff brought together to create this book. Big old yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not.
reminds me of oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say it reminds me of a similar book, Frankenstein, kind of does something similar.
Yeah. Mary Shelley's. Yeah.
Yeah, they do something similar of uh it's told from the perspective, well, it starts out from the perspective of letters,
A
essentially.
ship captain, right?
Yeah, it was like the book starts out, there's no, it's not really a spoiler because it happens in like the first two
Yeah, dude.
pages.
This is literally the first chapter.
So yeah, they find Dr. Frankenstein, like, and they bring him onto the boat. And so it's supposed to be this guy on the boat actually writing letters to his sister, I think,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the story of Frankenstein, and
Yeah, it
then
was supposed to
that's
be
what you
like,
read.
letters about the expedition itself. But
Yeah.
since they found Frankenstein, it's like it, evolves into a, letter detailing the the marvelous adventures and mishaps of Dr.
Of Dr.
Frankenstein.
Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm not too sure that that's the kind of thing I want to go for.
Right.
Yeah, like as I said before, like maybe like news reports and like like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
corporate like plans and whatnot to like as I said before, like extract human beings and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what here's the thing that might be interesting, right? So like we might I'm saying like starting off with reports from robots, like from like, yeah, from reports that the robots essentially drew up, you know what I'm saying? Like start off with, like regularly scheduled maintenance in A65 B Street or something like that,
Yeah.
like detailing all the kind of, reports for the first few pages and then start reporting anomalies and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, like maybe have it in a way that like essentially newspaper clippings and all that kind of stuff were thrown in there for flavor and the reports themselves start getting more like less and less you know straightened out essentially, like aesthetically pleasing, like the papers used become more like um dirtied and all that kind of stuff, and eventually it like you know it reveals everything that had happened and everything that led to the devolve, essentially.
Hmm.
Maybe that kind of thing. I don't know. Like
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can
there,
play with
yeah.
it. So, but
Um, my
there's still
gosh,
always the video game angle. So,
this might actually be a thing. Jesus.
yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you get your ideas down, get a rough draft going,
Yeah,
and I
there we
think
go.
it could definitely be, yeah, a very good novel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I guess the only downside would be it wouldn't be able to, I guess, portray the whole solar punk aesthetic as well, as
Yeah,
you would want it to, unless you have like an illustrator or something who is willing to do that. But
right. Most likely the case, it's probably gonna be from description more than anything else, and it's probably gonna be like, ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Solar, yeah. Okay. Maybe through newspaper clippings and whatnot, like new living quarters for for our hard working citizens, and like show the solar punk, like, aesthetically pleasing buildings and all that kind of. Wait a minute. I got it. Okay, I'm not gonna share all the details right now, but
my God, yeah, don't spoil the
like,
book. I'm gonna
yeah,
read
it all
it.
clicked. It all clicked just now. Okay, yes,
Great,
we got this.
great. Write it down.
the first the first 12 people who listen to the podcast are gonna like know what the book's gonna be about, but like aside from that, like y'all ain't gonna know shit. I'm allowed to say that. Haha.
Great, great, great,
My gosh, I actually have the idea. I actually wanted to
great,
do this. Please,
great.
depression, let me do this.
I'm glad we strained it out. There you
Yes,
go.
definitely.
And if ever, down the road it becomes a movie or a video game,
Hmm.
then bonus points, right? Because that's what it started out as. Then
Dude,
we turned
yeah.
it into a book. So,
I swear to God, if it ends up being like a movie or a show or anything like that, I'm going to refuse anyone that messes up the plot. Like, if you throw in a romantic subplot in there without my knowing, I'm gonna the shit out of you. Okay, like
no romance.
like your studio will burn down.
Yeah, fuck love.
Like, I understand the need to put love in there, yes, but it's supposed to be depressing for the humans. Thank you very much. Like, I sincerely doubt that fucking is on their priority list right about now, okay? And besides, here's the thing, okay? If they mess up with the aesthetic of the humans as well, because they're supposed to be living in shit conditions, okay? Like, and it's supposed to show that, that kind of like that level of need and want is supposed to be the ultimate equalizer. It's supposed, like, it's going to show all the races and all the peoples, and like it's going to show everyone together in there, all right? And if the movie studio makes like makes those shit, absolutely disgusting conditions to end up looking like, oh, they're they're kind of they're thin layer of soot and dust covering them, but you can still see how hot they are. If they end up doing something like that, if it ends up being like, you know Jack Sparrow with with Johnny Depp having a layer of mud covering his tattoos and whatnot, and aside from that being, like having nothing wrong with him. If it ends up being something like that, I swear to God, that's where I pull the plug. That's where everything dies. That's it.
Well, yeah, I figure that's the Hollywood touch, right?
Yeah,
So,
the
yeah.
the shit movie touch. It's
Yeah, I guess you could call it
yeah.
that.
Because
Yeah,
let's be
it's
honest,
very,
Hollywood has been on the decline for years now, and all that's keeping them going is the reboots and the shitty movie remakes and all that kind of like shit movie concepts.
damn, you are really not liking American
Yes, I
movies.
am passionate about
You
this
are
book, and if
very not.
anybody ruins it, I will fuck them. Not in a good way.
Well, yeah, it is fairly difficult to fully capture the essence of a novel in, a 2 hour long, film. So, I mean, I feel like at least from what I, have seen, movie adaptations of books are very difficult to become better than the book itself.
Yeah,
Um,
especially if the book is doing like a twist in storytelling.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because they're two different mediums, and so they use two different, you know, techniques to, do different things, right? I
yeah,
mean, it's a little difficult to, use a metaphor or a simile in a movie, right? And
yes,
likewise, it's, difficult to, use visual effect in a novel. So,
yeah.
it's a little
I'm more
difficult on that
confident
end.
in like video game adaptations more than anything else, unless it's up to a big studio with no new ideas whatsoever. Okay, like
Mhm.
a good example would be the Wolverine video game. All right, it's hack and slash. It shows how brutal Wolverine is with all the combos and all the finishing moves and all that kind of stuff. All right, and a bad example would be Bolt, which is
Bolt,
or
the
Ice
Disney
Age.
movie?
Bolt, the video game adaptation of the Disney movie, or
Gotcha.
Ice Age, for example. All right, both
I played Ice
are
Age.
both are decent enough video games, but nobody had the balls to put something new in them. All right, and it pisses me off all the time because
Interesting.
there's so much
Interesting.
to be done in there. All right, but it's such generic video game development, and it's so bad. So anybody who fucks up my video game gets a chainsaw circumcision. Okay, like there's no
Damn.
escape.
That's a that's a rough way to go. Chainsaw circumcision. My God.
Yes.
Um, so you believe that video games, when they are adapted, should add something new to the
Yes.
previously existing. Okay,
Now,
interesting.
here, like, it's not going to be a direct translation of the medium itself. I know that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, the video games are meant to, like, have the player feel involved in them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if you put in 50 collectibles and 500 different layers of currency and, like, 70 playable characters and all that kind of, like stuff that might draw the player away from it
Gotcha. Okay.
just to call your video game a video game, and just because you couldn't come up with anything better in time, right, by the pitch meeting. Okay, I forgot where I was going with this, but don't do that, please.
Okay. How do you have a, because I'm thinking about like the alternative, right?
Which one?
The alternative of, those collectible, like aforementioned collectibles and,
Right.
all these, I don't know, special items you get in each level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, basically in like every kid's game you have, right? Um, so I'm curious to know what your ideal video game adaptation of a movie would entail.
Every movie is different, and the fact of the matter is that's what make them interesting. If every movie had the same format of it, like, I understand there are certain formats and tropes and all that kind of stuff that are, placed into the movie to
Right.
make the audience understand the structure of the story itself. Yes, but there is some kind of spice or some kind of, new take that's going on in there that makes the movie unique. All right. And if you cannot portray that uniqueness inside the video game, then
Gotcha.
why even bother?
Okay.
All right. Like, for example, in the Bolt video, like, I have no recollection of the Bolt video game aside from the first level, which was essentially like, oh, parkour your way up to a big old, like, house by the, house by the sea, and you fight a bunch of bad guys and you fight a
Yeah.
helicopter, and that's about it. And, like, there are little droplets of currency that are spewing out everywhere as soon as you kill a guy. And, like, I appreciate that in a certain way. However, I hate that also, all right? Because we know that Bald is in a movie, all right? And he doesn't know that it's a movie, all
Right.
right? So what could have been done instead, right, would be like essentially like there are way too many ideas floating around in my head and not all of them are good. So like I'm trying to pick something that's actually decent. Like for example, start off as a, generic action game, right? And then nerf the shit out of the player. All right, as soon as it's revealed that Bolt is not in a movie, and make it so
Oh,
that it's a
okay.
survival
Okay.
game with objectives in the form of new characters and
Interesting.
all that kind
Okay.
of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Got
format
you.
it in a different way.
Got you.
All
Yeah.
right. The Ice Age game, I have no recollection of. It's just a distant memory, and I remember it being so extra.
Yeah.
Like,
I do remember playing the Ice Age game and having all those different
by the way, 30-minute
collectibles,
mark.
right?
Yeah.
Nice. Um, I remember having all those collectibles and, uh, very limited combat system.
Oh yeah.
Um, but again, it was like a game for kindergartners, so
Yeah.
I can't really complain too much now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think yeah, it would be really cool, in that instance. And
Hmm.
actually, I really love that idea of when you are in the movie, you kind of have this action oriented game, and you have all these combos and whatnot, and then
Yeah.
as soon as you find out, it suddenly turns into you're a regular dog now kind of thing.
Yeah. Like
um
it might still have a combat system, but it's like nerfed to death. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah, I get
You
that.
have to be smart about it instead of, using brute
Button
force, unlike
mashing.
what you did before, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of actually, yeah, it reminds me of this show I watched back, I think last year.
Uh-huh.
Um it's called The Boys. It's literally called The
The
Boys.
boys.
Um based on a comic that came out in 2008 or no 2007, I think, and it's
Uh-huh.
basically it's a really good show. It's the show adaptation of a existing comic
Is
that
it
is
the show that had advertisements playing all over social media?
probably it's about anti superheroes.
I'm sorry. I'm sure it's wonderful. However,
However,
because the advertisements ruined it for me, I will never watch it. That's my
damn,
final act of pettiness against the
really,
corporate structure that forces you to watch advertisements just to get some dopamine later on.
damn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, you're whatever. I'm a sucker for
you're
advertisements,
yeah,
so you know. And I'm glad
okay.
that I watched the show. I think it's really good.
Nice.
It's very good to watch, especially after watching superhero movies, which given the 10-year lifespan of the Iron Man saga,
Right.
right? It's a really good show to watch, and a really good comic too, just because it's very much. I think you'd like it actually.
Oh wait, is
Um,
it the animated one with the young Tony Stark?
no, it's not the
Oh,
animated one.
that's a different one, right?
Different one. Yeah,
Right.
but it's a it's supposed to portray the grittiness, the violence, the uh, just savagery of superhero work, which I think they did really well, because it is like to date one of the bloodiest, like literally bloodiest shows I've ever seen.
Right.
It's so gruesome. Like literally in the first minute of the show, you get someone like you see a couple uh just like hanging out like on the street, right, and they're
Mm-hmm.
talking and they're about to get married, and then you see there's supposed to be like this the boys version of the Flash, right? So
Spoilers, by the way.
spoilers, even though it
Right.
happens in the first minute, just in case. But the Flash equivalent
Right.
basically runs by, or should I say runs through, one of the fiance, and it does like this
Oh,
really like gruesome like slow-mo shot of just the
gotcha.
it's so
So,
gruesome.
like, it shows you why super speed wouldn't work.
Yeah, and among other
Among other
superheroes.
things, gotcha. Yeah, that's an interesting concept, which I will never be able to experience because of advertisements.
Damn advertisements.
Yes.
Damn corporations.
Darn
I
advertisements.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, advertisements.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, back to the point I was originally making in
Yes.
relation to your game. Um, one of the things they do in the show is that's really really cool is they because it's supposed to be like a really gritty and very uh gruesome show,
Right.
they every time they have an advertisement like within the show, like an advertisement as in because the superheroes are basically like a corporation, right? Which is what they're trying to portray. And
Mm-hmm.
so these corporations have advertisements, and they what they do in the show that's really cool is they show the advertisement, and it has like this bright coloring, and it has like this bright filter on, and
Right.
like everything is like super saturated. And then as soon as they turn off, as soon as you're back like in the show's reality,
Mm-hmm.
everything is like it's a darker filter, every like the brightness is lowered, and it's a really cool I think kind of thing. Like imagine like if Disney, right, like if you were watching
Right.
like I don't know, Frozen, right, and you have all these bright colors, and then as soon as the movie's done, like suddenly all of the colors are like faded, and like all of
Oh,
the
gotcha.
and
So
it's
like
sort of like
it
that.
would kind of like be like, after Beauty and the Beast ended, the French Revolution happened and like
Yes,
all the
exactly.
villagers revolted against the prince and Belle and like cut off their heads and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's sort of
Gotcha.
that kind of thing, which it is a really cool thing they do in the show, and is what I was reminded of when you mentioned the thing about Bolt,
Right.
how changing that combat system
Right.
midway. So
It
it's a
doesn't
really
have
cool
to be
technique.
like gritty from then on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like instead just have a sort of genre change in the middle of it, like make it from a action adventure game to a puzzle survival game, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
find food, come up with a way to sneak into the truck to go to the next city and that kind of stuff, like it would, I don't know, I guess it would just be better. Also, you mentioned something about like corporatized superheroes.
Yeah, that's essentially the premise of the show. It is.
Privatized vigilantes is something I never thought I'd hear about, the concept, but now that I have, it freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I like
that's what they
that's the
talk about.
last thing we need. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or the first thing we need, depending on who you ask. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really
It's a
yeah, it's a good show.
crazy
It's a good show.
world out there. Wait, hold on. What did Trump say about it? Hold on. Listen, the world is an angry place. Alright, like you think I'm gonna add a bit more anger to it? Like, no, I'm not. Hold on, wait. That's not the voice. Gosh darn it! I had a way of flipping into the Trump voice, but
I
like,
know you like got into character. You like hunched over. You were like,
yeah, there you go.
yeah,
The Democrats.
the Democrats.
Are you Don Jr. now?
Yes, that's me, Don Jr.
You're
I'm
slowly
I'm
shifting from Don
Italian.
Jr. to like
I'm an
a
Italian
Canadian Republican or
mobster
something.
or
Oh God,
Canadian Republican.
I this is
Either
all over the
or.
place. Let us stop doing this, please.
Uh,
This has gotten
what are
out
you
of hand.
talking about? I'm
No.
walking here. Now I'm New
I'm walking here.
Yorking.
Dude, oh my gosh. Speaking of accents, I went to hang out with a bunch of my friends the other day and
Mm-hmm.
like socially distanced and everything, but like we played a board game edition of the Oregon Trail.
I didn't know they had a board game
Oh
edition.
yeah, they do have, and
Wow.
it's as frustrating as the video
As the
game
actual
version.
Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
And like we were playing them in character. So like we essentially created like like a westerner type character, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I would I was my name was Eddie, Clam Eddie, and like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. My name is Eddie Anderson. Call me Clam Eddie A. That kind
Wow.
of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like come up with characters, like play with an accent the entire time, like
Wow.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it turned from being frustrating to absolutely fucking hilarious. And it
Mm.
was like
Oh yeah, yeah. Those can go wild. Yeah.
it was
On
fun.
Oregon
Like
Trail
we went
too. Oh my God.
insane with it. Jeez.
So I take it then some of you were related, right? Since you were all in the Oregon Trail.
Oh
Like
god, we
like were you all like separate, like were you like friends within the Oregon Trail universe, or like,
we were
did you
kind of
have
friends actually, not gonna lie. And the most recurring joke was whenever we had to replace wagon parts, we used our dicks. And whenever we
of
purchased
course.
spare parts, we would buy another penis. And like at some point,
So glad that,
yeah, yeah,
penises are your currency of the great
yeah,
wild west.
yeah. Like, oh, the wheels are coming off. Don't worry about it. Let's stabilize it with our dicks, like that kind of stuff. So it was like, gosh, we went insane with it.
My
It
God.
was so fucking hilarious.
Wow, I would have loved to been there.
Oh yeah,
I would have loved to be I
have
would
been
have
there.
loved to be there. Yes, that is the grammar. Okay.
God, English sucks, man.
Yes,
Yeah, there you
quite
go.
so.
But
But
like, here's the thing, right?
mm-hmm,
You know what? I was about to explain the Oregon Trail like board game
mm-hmm.
to you, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make you sit through that. You're
Oh
welcome.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Excuse me.
reminds me of I did something similar one time, except we played Mafia.
Mm,
Um, we played Mafia in characters for one of our comedy sports practices,
I'm walking
and
here.
yeah, it was probably along the same lines, except we didn't mention any dicks because we were at school,
Okay.
and there was an adult in the room at the time, so we couldn't go
Cowards.
too crazy. I know, such cowards.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. We were like, basically, as a town hall, we had all these characters. We had like the damsel in distress who was just so worried about all the mafia members killing everyone. And then, we had the Civil War veteran.
Oh
Even
God.
though this
Okay.
town takes place in the year 2012, I'm a Civil War veteran because I was alive during it, and I'm 200 years old. And so
Jesus.
it was so much fun. It was so hilarious.
Were you on the Union side or the Confederate side? Yeah.
Yes.
I
So
was on God's side.
yeah,
Oh
I was
God.
on the side.
Oh God. All right. I was
So
on. Oh, I was. You were on the side, Neiman.
ah,
So does
role
that mean
playing.
you're a snack?
I was a snack.
Very nice, man.
Role playing's fun.
Role play. That's what she
In
said.
given the context, right?
That's
I
what you
mean,
said.
that is what she said, right?
Aha.
I mean, there's different. No judgment to anyone who role plays or LARPs or any sort of.
Judgment to everyone who LARPs.
Are you not a fan of Dungeons and Dragons? Is a form of LARPing, if you ask me.
Judgment to few. Judgment to most who LARP. Judgment who LARP as
Like in the
judgment to
enthusiasts.
fascists. Let's go with that. Judgment to fascists. You can't mess with that.
Yeah, that's a given, right? That's a
Yeah,
granted.
that's kind of a
Yeah,
given. Even though people need to be reminded of that every 50 years or every 20, 10,
every day,
5, every day. Yeah.
every day. Yeah.
God.
So
Such
Yeah.
a sucky, such a sucky. We live in the society, already.
We live in a society. We do.
45-minute mark, by the way. Also, why is my foot is hurty for some reason right about now
Is it?
on this 45th minute mark?
Were you just stepping on people? Should I be regretting this question? I feel
Step
like
on me, daddy. All right, no.
my goodness. My goodness.
No, gosh, I have such a dirty mind. I hate it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's what hormones do to ya. Right?
Never say those words again.
What hormones and
No,
do into
like
and
just no. Gosh.
Well, it's true. Okay.
It's true, but we're both adults.
Are you saying that I can't say that's what hormones do to you to the
Listen,
guy
hormones
who...
get canceled as soon as you turned 18. Like, that's a fact.
Oh, but we can make dicks our currency in the Oregon Trail? Is that the kind of
How
game
are
we're
those
playing?
two things related?
I just don't understand how I can't say hormones, but you can say, oh, I'm going to fix this wagon wheel with my penis.
Let's reset.
Yeah, that's right. Because you know I was going to win.
I didn't imply that you couldn't say the word hormones. I simply said that do not relate to me that I am
Hormonal.
functioning with... Shut up.
I'm not wrong.
I've been 18. We're past that. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm past that. I'm still pretty hormonal, I'll say.
Shut up, you horny bitch.
My goodness. At least
Jesus
say
Christ.
it quietly. My God.
Okay.
I need the whole neighborhood to hear.
I wish to step away from this conversation. Thank you. So the weather has been pretty good with the clouds and the dicks and the... Okay, well, I'm done.
Jesus Christ. Even when talking about the weather,
yeah,
all you can think about are phalluses.
What are phalluses?
It's another word for pee-pee.
What's pee-pee?
So a pee-pee is the
you
tool,
mean dicks?
Yes, the tool that a male person uses to both urinate and also other purposes.
Sloppy.
Oh yes.
Sloppy.
Call back to the soundboard.
Dude, I want to have a soundboard so bad, but they're so expensive. And just some of them aren't expensive, but it's pretty obvious they're viruses.
I'm sure there's
I'm not talking Rona. 2020 humorous, funny joke.
Oh man, yeah. I remember when the first quarantine. Oh God, I hope there's not a second quarantine.
Yeah, you just gave ideas to God.
I know. I'm sorry, God. Don't do it, please.
It's too late. It's way too late.
Oh yeah. Back when quarantine first started is what I meant to say. Just jokes left and right of just virus, pandemic, all this stuff. So I'm over it now. I'm over it.
And now months later, we're still in the same gosh darn situation. Yeah. Oh God, it's September.
Yeah. Today is in fact the first day of September. Can you believe it?
Oh God.
We got 4 months of...
Isn't it October 4th of 2019 though?
What's that?
I thought it was October 4/20th of 2019 for a second.
Oh yeah. Common mistake.
Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, that wouldn't actually make sense because October 4/20th would have to be a year. Like, yeah, there's like 365. You know,
No,
I
you can
didn't think
still.
this through. It's fine.
Are you referring to October 4th, 2020?
No. What? No. How do we get there? What is going on?
October
I am
420. I
I'm
don't.
hungry. I'm hungry is what's going on. That's what's going on. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
There you go. That's why we haven't been able to make sense this entire time.
Both make sense and make
Yeah.
sense, as
Oh
in
yeah.
any money.
Sense.
Because I
Yeah.
don't have a job at the moment, so I'm searching.
Ouch. Yeah, there you go. Listen, the only two viable jobs for me is writer and sugar baby. Like there's no in between.
Well, people are actually, there's a lot of people profiting off of the sugar industry and not the one you eat, but, the whole
Yeah,
sugar daddy slash baby industry.
there you go.
So,
With the
pretty,
rise of OnlyFans, right?
oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you
People
go.
are making, yeah, I think I've mentioned this. People are making like 100,000 like a month
Dude,
in
people are
OnlyFans.
making
So,
three figures from like annual like
from
from
like
monthly
feet pics.
subscriptions and all that kind of like it's okay, here's the thing. You can have a subscription to access to someone's profile, right? And you can still send them money for other type of, commissions, I guess, quote
Yeah.
unquote, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it boggles my mind. Like I have respect for a woman who do that, honestly. Like you milk the shit out of those people. My
Yeah. I
gosh.
mean,
But like, yeah.
I would say it's in the same, I guess, line of, not exact same line of work, but in the same vein of,
All right.
sex workers,
Yeah.
it's in
There
that.
shouldn't be any stigma against sex workers. Like, come on. What is this, the 17th century or something like that? Like, what's going
No
on? Like,
ankles. No ankles.
no
No
ankles.
ankles. Oh,
Oh, damn it. I caught syphilis. Let's beat up innocent women until we find a culprit. Oh,
yes.
gosh. Yeah, there you go. Like,
The witch trials. You look
well,
funny. I'm gonna hang you and burn you.
we're slowly descending into madness.
Isn't that what everyone does, Aaron?
Sure. Yeah, there you go.
Everyone does
Oh,
descend.
God. I am really hungry.
Well, I mean, we can end it early if you so
Okay,
choose.
wait. No, it's fine. We have like 8 minutes, like 7.5 minutes left. I think I can go through this without.
Well, Aaron just died, so it's just me now. But finally, I can talk about all the things I hate about Aaron because he can't hear it. Aaron is just so damn kind that I just hate how kind he is to everyone, and I just hate how much he cares about other people and not enough about himself. Ah, just bothers me to a fault. And thank
All right,
God.
I'm back. You
Oh, Aaron. Oh, hey.
talking shit? You talking shit, boy?
No. I would
Dude, yeah.
never. I would never.
Heaven rejected me, and I already sucked Satan's dick once, so I got a free pass this time.
Man, what I would do to suck Satan's dick? Probably not a lot. Just for the
Jesus Christ.
experience, of course.
Just
Just
for
for
the
the
experience. Yeah,
experience.
just to say that I did it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So,
Like, it's on the bucket list. Or would it be on the reverse bucket list because you can only do it after you died or something like that? But no, like there
other.
are specific conditions that might allow you to. Not too sure. By the way, you want to join a religion? Yeah, I'm
it
thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking of starting a religion with a bunch of my friends, mostly to um, like mostly as a protest against the way other religions sort of treat sexual minorities and all that kind of stuff, and as also a protest against this like the federal requirement for states to financially support private religious schools and religious
mm-hmm.
like that new law that
Interesting.
came by and was
Yeah.
never talked about again and is essentially a dent in the wall of that separates church and state. But like since most people aren't talking about it, let's just start a new religion to protest it. It's called the Cult of the Coctopus, by the way.
Okay.
You didn't hear me wrong. It's called the Cult of the Cocktopus. So
Very nice. Very nice.
and like it's like the details of it are pretty vague for now, but it's essentially going to be a way to support like sexual minorities and to like educate people on acceptance and all that kind of stuff, and helping people accept if they are different from you know the norm, essentially, right? It's going to
Yeah.
be like a way to break that idea of a norm, like
Mm-hmm.
mainstream sexualities and whatnot. So, and it's going to be all inclusive, like
Interesting.
if
Yeah.
like gays, lesbians, trans peoples,
Yeah.
like people of all orientations are going to be you know
That's awesome.
invited. So yeah.
And
And if anyone comes in to to disrespect our religion of acceptance and free sexual orientations and free love, we're gonna beat the shit out of them.
yeah, there you go.
So yeah, if someone comes in with saying that their gender is an Apache helicopter, they're getting the chainsaw circumcision that I said before.
Oh no, yeah, the worst way to go,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
So
Is
yeah,
this
want to join?
something how long have is it you and a couple of other friends who are,
Like a
I
bunch of
guess,
my friends from college
nice.
for
Nice,
now.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to join?
Well,
It's not an actual cult. It's just,
yeah, yeah, no,
you
I
get the
recognize that.
tax, you get the tax. What was that? Oh, was that
Oh, that
from
was
your?
my
I like
phone.
how we both looked. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. We're
My bad.
conditioned. All
My
right.
bad.
But yeah, like, what was I about to say? But yeah, one J. It's not an actual cult. It's just a way to get that sweet, sweet tax exemption
Yeah.
as
Sure.
well, as
I'll
a
join
plus.
the cult of the cocktopus.
There we go. Yeah. You need to kiss a plushie of a coctopus every time you say a prayer.
I don't know if I have
I just
a
came up with that. Yeah.
specific
Don't
I
worry, it's
can
gonna
make
be
one.
yeah, don't worry, it's gonna be provided
Oh,
after a
okay,
while
great.
though. Yeah.
It's
For
the
now
one
we
we
only for now we only have a vague crayon drawing.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And we share it, right? We all take turns,
What? No.
smooching.
Unlike some churches, we're actually considerate about people's fears of getting the Rona.
Oh, okay, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. For a second, I
Yeah.
thought we were all just gonna have like a, I don't know, four-way kiss with a,
With a drawing of a octopus.
yeah, with a drawing of an octopus with dicks as his tentacles.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So
Oh, it's a parody of the flying
spaghetti
spaghetti monster,
monster.
by the
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
I had a
So
feeling. I had a feeling.
if the flying spaghetti monster is Catholicism, then the cult of the octopus is going to be like Protestantism or Orthodox, that
Hmm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. Fun stuff,
Fun,
fun stuff.
fun. All right.
I do you know what are the specific like I guess prerequisites for establishing a religion in America? Are there, or can you just like
Uh, I can't remember the specifics right now, but I guess it was something around like you need to have at least 2 dozen or 3 dozen followers, like active followers of that religion. And I guess that's it. I'm not like I
really?
need
Huh,
to look up the
interesting.
specifics of it at
Yeah,
some point if I actually want to do this. But like those are the only two things that I'm, passionate about at this point.
yeah,
Writing that Solarpunk book and the Cult of the Coctopus.
yeah. Fun. I
Ew,
well,
excuse me.
keep me posted.
Yeah, no
Keep me
problem.
posted on the cult
Yeah.
of the
Also, if
cocktopus.
any of you, dear listeners, want to join the Cult of the Coctopus,
If you so choose, right? If you so
yeah, this is
choose.
this is no longer a podcast about talking about random shit. No, this is now a propaganda center for the Cult of the Coctopus.
Yes.
We will take over.
Yes.
Yes,
So
the Coctopus is the way of eliminating the upper classes.
so make sure to keep your dick in your pants because if
Sure,
you
yeah.
don't,
There you go.
Octopus
We're
is gonna
slowly
take it.
approaching. Yes, we're slowly approaching the hour mark. So shall we start wrapping up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, me. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I feel like I've talked too much in this episode.
That's okay.
No, it's
okay.
not. No,
It's a
not.
podcast. It's a
The
podcast, my friend.
fuck? What am I doing talking in a podcast? Oh my god.
Despicable.
Despicable me. Haha, minion memes. Haha, I hate it. Okay, bye.
Karen memes. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Save for the podcast. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, concerns, that kind of stuff, feel free to contact us at Save for the Podcast with 2 T's at gmail.com. The email address will be in the description. Aside from that, if you have any questions, feel free to fill out a document. The link is also down in the description below. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Penis. 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 Please, Neiman, please.